Okay, there is a type of law called a blue law. And originally, the label blue law was applied to any law that was made for some sort of religious observance. So, for example, not being able to buy alcohol on Sunday because that day is for going to church and praising God and such. So you shouldn't be buying or drinking alcohol on Sunday. That was one of the original blue laws in the United States. Since then, I believe that the term can also be applied to other types of laws, which basically are there to enforce some sort of moral guideline on the public, or basically trying to restrict your own freedom for your own good or for society's good, which is usually eh, it doesn't work. It has no effect on the greater good. It does. It's a completely pointless law, and all it's doing is getting in the way of you basically doing what you want. So an example would be the concept of last call or alcohol curfews. For example, a lot of states you cannot purchase alcohol, whether it's at a store or a bar, past 2 a.m. And then it starts up again at 6 a.m. I believe in most states. So you're not allowed to buy alcohol for 4 hours out of the day, out of the 24-hour day. And the idea behind this was to try to curb alcoholism in some people so that people don't get too rowdy and such and stay up all night drinking. And well, there's a way of getting around that. If you're an alcoholic, you just stock up before 2 a.m. rolls around and you just keep drinking all night. It doesn't say you're not allowed to drink past 2 a.m. You're just not allowed to purchase alcohol. So it's a completely pointless law. People should be able to buy alcohol whenever they want, whether it's 3 a.m. or whatever. What difference does it make? It's just a pointless, dumb law. And of course, as I mentioned before, no buying alcohol on Sunday. I believe in one state, you're not allowed to buy or sell cars on Sunday, which is absurd. It's why? And these laws are still in the books. Um, then there's open container laws, and so you're not allowed to be in public with an open container. You're not allowed to be intoxicated in public, and in some states, California, I know at least, has this law where any hard liquor bottles, any wine bottle, and any package of beer where the beer is the actual container, the bottle, or the can is exposed. For example, a six pack. So anything under a 12 pack. So 12 packs typically come in boxes. Anything above 12 packs come in boxes. Since a six pack has the bottles or the cans exposed, you have to put it in a bag if you're in public. So if you go to a store and buy a six pack of beer, you're not allowed to just purchase it, then walk out the door holding the six pack in your hand. You have to put it in a plastic bag or a paper bag first and then walk out. Why? What does this accomplish? Are people getting offended by people seeing alcohol that they purchased legally with their own money walking down the street? Who is this protecting exactly? What is the point? It shouldn't exist. Um, then there's drinking in public or being intoxicated in public. Obviously, when you drink in public, you're going to get buzz. You're going to get at least buzz, and buzz still counts as being intoxicated technically. So people should be allowed to drink out in public. I should be able to walk down the street with a beer, drinking a beer. Who is that offending? Who is that hurting? If you're offended by it, then I don't care. I'm not hurting you, am I? Alcoholics and drunks are going to get drunk no matter what. They're just going to go somewhere in private, get totally wasted, and then go out in public. It doesn't really make a difference. Making a law against it's not going to stop people. But back to my main point, we should have the freedom to do that. People smoke cigarettes in public, and I think that's far more um, kind of infringing on my rights to not being my right to not breathe in cigarette smoke because it's unhealthy and I don't smoke and I don't want to breathe in secondhand smoke. But I'm not saying people shouldn't be allowed to. Someone lights up a cigarette in public and I'm close to them, I just move away and the problem is solved. So there shouldn't be a law against it. Just like with drinking in public, there shouldn't be a law against it. It doesn't make any sense. Um, that relates to this story. I used to work at a truck stop in the convenience store at the truck stop. So one day we had this tourist bus, a tour bus, rolled up with a bunch of Europeans, European tourists on board, and it was kind of funny because they all. It was about after. It was afternoon, I believe, in the afternoon, evening, I think, early evening. They all rolled up and they all started buying beer. I was like, okay, they're buying beer. But the thing is, after they purchased their beer, they just took the beer and opened it up right there in the store and just started drinking it and walking around the parking lot drinking beers. That's because in Europe, there is no law against drinking in public. It's very common to see people just hanging out on the streets drinking beers or drinking liquor and stuff. And no one has a problem with it. At least most people don't have a problem with it, obviously. It's totally legal. Nobody cares. And I thought that was funny because we're trying to stop them. We're like, most of them didn't understand English at all. They're like German or something. And yeah, we're just trying. We're like, no, 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 no. They didn't understand. We're telling them that they couldn't drink in the store or out in the parking lot. And finally, their tour guide, who did speak English, came in, and we were like, yeah, you gotta tell these people to get on the bus if they want to, even though it's technically not. I don't believe that's legal either, drinking on a bus. But we're like, yeah, you got to get off the property because we don't want to be blamed for this if a cop shows up. So, yeah, but it shouldn't be illegal though. I mean, I wasn't personally offended. I just was worried a cop would see it and blame us somehow. But yeah, they're pointless laws. And another thing that kind of relates to this is the drinking age. So I believe that's a blue law too because it doesn't make any sense. And this applies to cannabis where it's legal, like in California and Colorado. You have to be 21 to drink and smoke cannabis or purchase alcohol and drink it and such. Why isn't it 18? Every other country it's 18. I mean, if you're 18 is a legal adult. You can join the military. Um, you can vote. If you're 18, you can do these things. Why shouldn't you be able to drink a beer? Why shouldn't you be able to smoke cannabis if it's legal? California raised the smoking age to 21 for some reason. I have no idea why they did that. It's not going to stop people from smoking. It's kind of ironic. They passed legalized cannabis and then they kind of took another step backwards and raised the tobacco smoking age to 21. That doesn't make any sense. If you're 18, you should be able to smoke cannabis, drink alcohol. You're 18, you're an adult. 21 is just an arbitrary number pulled out of the air for some reason. I don't know where they came up with that age. Um, you're not any more mature. Humans don't stop maturing until they're 25 years old. So saying that, oh, they're mature at 21, 18 they're not, doesn't make any sense. It's all a subjective opinion. So yeah, these are just kind of these silly laws that we still have on the books, and they're mostly originally were based for religious and moralistic reasons, which is not what we should be passing laws about. Um, Laws should be there to protect our freedoms and our liberties and our rights to live our lives unharmed and to do what we want to do as long as we are not infringing on other people's rights. That is what law should be there for. It shouldn't be saying there to say, well, this is bad in our opinion, so it should be illegal. In our opinion, if you do this, you're a bad person with bad morals, and we're going to make a law against it so you don't do it. That's not what law is supposed to be there. It's supposed to be there to protect us. And yeah, so that's my thought on these laws, these blue laws. Thanks for watching and have a great day.